As you sit down, bring mindfulness to your posture. So begin by awareness of how you're sitting and feeling at this very moment. Try to sit straight, keep your head up. Be aware of any muscle tension and relax that. Whatever's been going through your mind, just accept that. If you're particularly peaceful, mindful from the walking, that's good. Try to maintain that as you now turn to stay within your body and stay with the breath. If you haven't been very mindful and your mind is thinking many thoughts, distracted thoughts, well, that's okay, just accept that. But one very obvious reflection you can bring up at this time is the transient nature of thought. You may have been walking for 30 minutes with many different thoughts, memories coming in and out of your mind. In the same way, you will have had different sights and sounds come into your awareness and then pass away. So just noting how transient our experience is as human beings. We have this sense of I, me, myself, which links everything together. But as you bring up the mindfulness, you're also noticing that the details of your thinking and what you believe to be yourself is actually more truly a collection of different mental states, feelings, sensations. This is particularly helpful with the more distracting or agitating mental states and emotions we have. Even if you have a very dark thought, unhappy, disappointed, depressed, it's still a thought. Or if your thoughts are more directed to a wholesome object, to bring you more calm, more joy, that's good, but they're still transient. They're still thoughts. The nature of thoughts is that they arise, they pass away, and we're learning to see thought, as sankharas, mental formations. Ajahn Chah used to say, if a very skillful, wholesome thought arises in the middle of your meditation, well, you may take it up and contemplate it. Maybe a thought of compassion, thinking of somebody who needs help or that you know is suffering and you wish them to be free from suffering. Could be yourself, could be someone else. Or just a general thought of goodwill, wishing others to be well. Or if you think of somebody and know that they've done something good, achieved something, they're happy, the wish for them to continue with that happiness or that success. So these kind of thought streams, what we call Brahma Vihara Dhamma, the divine abidings, you don't have to stop them because they generally are not disturbing to your mind. They're quite wholesome and nourishing. So you can hold such a thought in your mind for a while. It's not an obstacle to the practice. And when the time comes, you can put it down, let it go. More troublesome are the thoughts that are more negative. Aversion and irritation, desire, unfulfilled desires, wishing for things, wanting things that we believe will bring us happiness and satisfaction. Worries, anxiety, doubts. Why am I doing this? What's the point? These are what we call the hindrances. And as they come up, they take over the mind. They have their own negative energy that only leads to more states of confusion. They drain our energy. They disrupt our practice of mindfulness. So be wary of them when they come up. But try not to create more suffering around the 5 hindrances. Get to know them and practice being patient with them, and then work to let them go, abandon them. But because they've all come up before, they're bound to come up in our meditation. So don't be surprised or upset by it. Don't create more suffering because your mind is not yet peaceful. Just keep watching, learning from your experience. So treat your state of mind, the feelings in your body, as a place of learning. See what kind of things you can learn from them, what knowledge they'll give you. They'll give you insight into impermanence, how feelings change, they come and go. What's impermanent is not stable or happy, can't give us lasting happiness. They're dukkha. And because they're changing, they're quite hard to endure, be with. And we say they're not self because they arise due to causes and conditions. And when the causes and conditions change, they pass. We can't just command our mind to be a certain way. The causes, the conditions have to be there. We can't demand that our mind brings us happiness and peace. That comes through the right causes, conditions. So this is also a part of the meditation, in developing contemplation of the 3 characteristics in our experience. And it also leads to letting go. Just as if you're mindful of the breath, you'll start letting go of other states of mind and other attachments. Developing insight into impermanence, unsatisfactoriness, not self, also leads to abandoning of the hindrances and abandoning of attachments, craving, attachment. So both mindfulness and wisdom, sati and panya, work together. They're 2 sides of the same thing. And at different times we may be emphasizing one or the other in our practice. Sometimes we're just calming the mind down, letting go of all thought. Other times we're investigating and seeing the transient or impermanent nature of thought. So keep putting effort into your practice for the next period until you hear the sound of the bell.